Welcome to the Saturday shoot. So I'm going to start out today by warming up with my Tenfoglio Force 22L. That's the one I was showing on the last episode. Again, just get myself warmed up. I typically like to run maybe 50 to 100 to 200 rounds through the 22. Again, that just kind of gets me warmed up, gets me thinking, and then I'll switch over to shooting either 9mm or 45. Today I'll be shooting a 9mm. But let's go ahead, let's get started. Let's get this shoot going. Get my eye protection on, get my hearing in. I'm going to start out with two magazines of 5 rounds. I'm going to start shooting for the bottom right. I've got a little 2-inch yellow sticker on the silhouette target, and that's where I'm going to start with. I'm shooting at 20 yards, so this is going to be a bit of a challenge to be shooting that small a target. But again, it just really helps me get focused. All right, drop, check, clear. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and load up the next. I'm going to go for the bottom center yellow target. Again, 20 yards. Drop, check, clear. Let's go see how it looks. All right, looking at my first series of rounds. So I've got one here, 2, 3, 4, and I'm not sure who the 5th one is. I'm getting it's probably hit down here somewhere. So the second series is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slow down for the next series of rounds and see if I can't bring that shot group in just a little bit tighter. Got my next 2 magazines loaded up. This time what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the bottom left, and then I'm going to move to the center orange, just because it gets a little frustrating. I did get a couple hits on the center green, but unfortunately it is a challenge, shooting a 2-inch circle at 20 yards. So I'm going to start with the bottom left, and then I'll go to the 4-inch circle, the orange circle in the center. So let's go ahead and get this started up. All right, drop, check, clear. All right, now I'm going to go for the orange in the center. It's challenging with the 2-inch circle, the yellow, because every little movement on your sights basically covers up the circle. So we're going to go with the orange, a little bit larger target, and see if we can't improve our shooting here a little bit. Drop, check, clear. All right, let's go up and let's go take a look and see what we have. All right, take a look at this. We are looking a little better. We had one shot that was quite a bit off. We have one up here that's a little bit off. But we've got one here. So that's number 3, number 4, and number 5. So that is looking a little bit better. Taking a look at, again, my shots here. Also, I forgot to take a look down here too, my original series. I've got one here, 2, 3, 4, and I'm not sure where that 5th shot went. I'm guessing again it was probably down low. But you can kind of see I started out, I was shooting down here. The second series was in this area. The third series was really one of my better, and the 4th series was nice and close, other than this one that was off. So let me do a couple more runs, and then we'll switch over to the 9mm. I warmed up a little bit with the 22, not as much as I normally would. It is a little bit hot out here, and I kind of want to get out of the sun, but I'm going to switch over now to the 9mm. This is a Canik Rival S. It's the steel framed Rival. I've shot it once before. I'm still getting used to it. It's got a very flat trigger, and I'm not quite used to that yet. But my initial thought was I really enjoyed shooting it, so I'm going to go ahead and warm this up, and then we're going to head over to the steel targets. So let me take a few rounds here. All right, range is hot. I'm standing on a little bit of a hill, so I've got to get my feet situated properly so I'm in a good stance. Drop, check, clear. I was shooting at the top right. I'm looking like I'm shooting a little high. Let me go down and check, and we'll see how it's looking. That's my initial thought is right. All my shots are right in this area here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shots. I'm going to mark these so I know where I've shot. This really isn't too bad. A little bit to the left and a little bit high. So again, it just may be me getting used to the flat trigger. I'm going to do another series of rounds. And then we'll take it over to the steel and get it warmed up on the steel. Make some steel ring. Got 5 rounds loaded up. I'm going to shoot again for that top right orange target, and we'll see how it goes. I need to get used to shooting this pistol, and that's really important. So getting out and practice with your firearms to get used to, how they handle and really how they feel in your hands when you shoot. Again, once I probably get 300 or 400 rounds through it, I may do some sight adjustments on it. It does have adjustable sights, but at this time I think it's just a little too early to do sight adjustments. I think a lot of it is me just getting used to the pistol itself. So we're hot. All right, do a drop, check, clear. I went up and took a quick look. I'm still shooting really in that same area, a little to the left. But as far as the elevation, it's about correct on elevation. Again, it may just be me getting used to this trigger, so I'm going to shoot the orange target on the right shoulder, or left for me, but the right for the target. So let me see how this goes. Yeah, I'm still shooting to the left, although the first shot looks like it hit pretty well. As I take a look at this, again, kind of in the same general area that I'm hitting in here. I think that was one. But again, all the shots are in this general area here, so it's a little off. Again, it just may be getting used to the trigger. When I take a look at the shots here, I've got 1, 2 that are on the target, and then 3 that are off to the side of the target. So again, it really makes me think it's me getting used to the trigger more than it is the sights being off on the pistol. So I'm going to fire a few more rounds, get myself warmed up, maybe get myself a little bit more used to this trigger, and then we'll go over and we'll shoot some steel. Now that I've got warmed up a little bit, I'm going to take the Canik Rival S, and I'm going to shoot steel targets. I'm going to be shooting the yellow silhouette target. I did get out and repaint the targets, so we should be able to see right where I'm hitting at. The previous shots I had when I was hitting the paper target, again, I was still shooting a little bit to the left. Again, I'm counting that as this has got a very flat trigger, and I'm not quite used to that flat trigger, so I'll have to get out and shoot this pistol quite a bit more to get used to that flat trigger before I determine if I need to make any sight adjustments. Well, let's see what we can do. We can make some steel ring. Looking good so far. I pulled that second shot, and I know that's why I missed it. So let me load up another magazine, and we'll shoot some more. All right, I've got another 5 rounds loaded up. Go ahead. I'll get this loaded up, get the pistol hot, and we'll continue to shoot. So I know that the second shot I made there, I pulled it a little bit. So again, that's user error, not the pistol itself. So let's see what we can do. That did not sound good. I missed 2. I suspect, again, I'm still shooting a little to the left. So I'm going to aim a little bit more to the right, and we'll see if that adjusts. So let me load up 5 more rounds real quick. All right, I've got 5 more rounds loaded up. This time I'm going to aim a little bit to my right, to the left of the target, but I'm going to aim a little bit to the right side of the target and see if I can't get 5 for 5 on this next series. Again, I'm hesitant to adjust the sights yet because I want to get the pistol broke in a little bit. But other than that, it shoots really, really nice. Yep, looking pretty good. That's not too far off from where I was aiming. Again, just slightly to the left. The pistol does shoot really nice. Would I recommend it to somebody? Yeah, absolutely. The weight really helps with the recoil. It does have adjustable sights, so like I said, once I get 300 or 400 or 500 rounds through it, I might do a little bit of adjustment on the sight. The other benefit is it does have a fiber optic front sight, so again, that really does help bring that sight in, or bring the target, align that sight picture up when you're getting ready to shoot. But anyways, the gun is clear. I'm going to switch over. I'm going to go back to the 22 because we're going to have a little bit of fun and do some fun shooting next. All right, I've got my 22. I've got 2 magazines loaded up with 8 rounds apiece. So again, this is going to be a little bit more fun. We're going to start with a walking shoot. So I'm going to start at 20 yards. I'm going to walk my way in towards the target while shooting. This is a bit challenging. It's not something I normally practice, but that's what the Saturday shoot's for. It's for getting out here and trying new things. So let's go. I guess I'm out of rounds. So a little bit challenging. I missed a couple there. Let's go back. Let's try this again. All right, we're going to try this again. I'm loaded up and ready to go. The most challenging part of this is actually getting the first sight alignment. Once you've got the sight aligned, again, it's the walking knocks your sights off, but it's just that initial sight alignment. So let's go. There we go. Drop, check, clear. I'm going to do this a few more times. That's actually kind of fun. And then we'll do some other. I'm going to do this a few more times, and we'll do some other fun shooting. Again, it's quite challenging to walk and shoot. We'll give you that. We're going to start this again. Range is hot. All right, drop, check, clear. That is challenging to do. You may ask, why am I doing this? You know, it's not something I would expect to be using in self-defense or any other means, but it's a way of building up confidence. If you can build up confidence walking and shooting, again, it makes a still target a little bit easier to get your sights on target really quickly. It's similar to, you know, I've got the nice big silhouette target, and I put the 4-inch orange circles on there, and the 2-inch orange stickers, the circle stickers. It's because it forces me to focus in on what I'm aiming at. And again, if I can hit that little 2-inch or that 4-inch circle, the large silhouette target by definitely is a whole lot easier to hit. If I was in a self-defense situation, typically, I haven't been in one, but if I were, I would find something on the person that I would aim at. So if they had a button-up shirt, I would try to pick a button somewhere in the middle. Or again, like this shirt here, I might aim at the logo here. So again, that gives me something to focus on. But probably a little bit more to the center, but that may give me something to focus on to go after. Depends how far away they were. But typically I'd try to find something center mass that I could focus and aim on. All right, here we go again. Drop, check, clear. You may be asking yourself, why am I using 22 for this? Because as I've said before, 22 is a relatively cheaper round. So I can afford to do lots of practicing with the 22. Versus if I was shooting 9mm or 45, it would cost me a small fortune to learn these skills. So as I build up on a 22, once I'm comfortable with the 22, then I'll move up to a 9mm or 45. Again, it's just cost effective to start with a cheaper round and then work your way up. All right, here we go. All right. Going again. But we're gonna change things up a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna practice a little bit different skill now. I'm gonna switch over and I'm gonna practice left-hand shooting. Again, using the 22 because I need to build the skill up before I switch over to 9mm or 45. I'm gonna pretend that my right hand is not available since I'm a right-handed shooter. And I'm gonna start at 20 yards and just not moving, just practicing left-handed shooting. Five for five, that was pretty good. Let me do one more series of rounds with the left hand. I suppose I should become proficient too at reloading a pistol left-handed, so maybe that's my next thing to learn. But all right, let's go ahead, let's get started. All right. I'm going to continue to practice that in a little bit, but we're going to do one more little bit of a fun shoot. All right. So we're going to have a little bit more of a fun shoot. These are absolutely, I'm going to come in a little bit just because these are absolutely worthless skills. The first is, let's practice the gangster shoot. So if you ever watched Date Night with Steve Carell, they had the gangster shoot.
Did you really think you could steal from Joe Miletto?
This is just a big misunderstanding. We are Phil and Claire Foster. Hey, God, no, he turned it sideways. Kill shot! That's a kill shot!
If you remember, oh no, he's got the gun sideways. That's the kill shot. So how accurate can you be with that? Again, it's all about that sight alignment, that sight picture. Oh, that last one I missed. Drop, check, clear that. It's the same concept of just lining up your sights. But let's do something a little bit sillier. What if you had, for some reason, you got the pistol that was upside down? So let me go ahead, I'll load up the round, and we're going to try upside down shooting. I'm going to be shooting with my pinky, which this is going to be challenging, but let's see what we can do. The challenging part is also making sure, one, I've got a good grip on the pistol. That's part of the reason I'm using the 22. And the second part is making sure I don't have my hand, wrist, or arm in the way of that slide movement. Yeah. Nope. Hence one of the problems with doing crazy shoots. I got a round that did not load properly. So let's reload that one again. Firearms are not designed to be shot upside down. So let me go ahead and try to get another grip on this pistol and see what I can do. There we go. All right, drop, check, clear that. So yeah, you can shoot a pistol upside down. I wouldn't recommend it. Absolutely worthless skill, but hey, we're out here having some fun, and that's the purpose of the Saturday shoot. This last fun shoot, this goes back to my military days, and I do not recommend anybody to do this. I'm on a private range. There's nobody around, so I don't have to worry about somebody shooting next to me or somebody being on the back side of the range. So I'm clear for quite a ways around me. So the story behind this is years ago, I used to be in a helicopter unit, and some old chief warrant officers, I was talking to them, and they said when they used to go to the range with their pistols, and I believe they had 38s at the time, their last series, they were told they could shoot any way they wanted. And the chief said, well, you know what we used to do is we'd turn around and shoot backwards. And I was like, what? And he said, well, think about it. If you're in a helicopter sitting down, chances are the enemy's below you and behind you. So you have to learn to shoot the pistol, basically shooting it upside down, but shooting it behind your back, kind of. Basically aiming behind your back while you're shooting. So without any experience in this, I suspect it's something to this effect. And that is an odd way of shooting. So in memory of some of my old warrant officers in the helicopter unit, let's see if we could do this. Kind of get in a seated position. Drop, check, clear. So I guess if I was in a helicopter, I'll feel a little bit better about taking on an enemy if I'm flying away from them. But it is different, and if I was a helicopter, you know, either the pilot, I'd be shooting left-handed if I was the pilot, but if I was the co-pilot or the crew chief in there, I could see that as being a useful skill. For every day, no, it is fun to get out here and shoot it, but that is absolutely, again, another worthless skill for someone like me. So this will end the Saturday shoot. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have, and we'll see you again next week.